Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be watching Games at Daycare by Jaicematioms. If you guys are enjoying these videos as much as I am, please make sure to hit the like button, and also please consider subscribing. Helps out me a ton, and it makes me feel better inside. Let's get into
So during the summer when I was younger, I would do summer camp at my daycare, and some of you guys have seen my other videos involving summer camp at my daycare, but usually I had like a set schedule or routine, I could say, of how my days went. I would get to my daycare and walk through the little cafeteria area, and then through the back doors into my little age groups area, the play area, which is split into two more age groups, like kids who were like 5 to 8, and then on my side, we had kids who were like 8 to 12, which is like the age limit for this place. So I would show up in the morning and usually go wait for people I knew to show up, just sitting at this table next to the gaming center that had a GameCube and a bunch of others.
So this actually reminds me of the summer camp I work at. Um, just like the age groups, it just brings me back to my kids. I don't know, I just miss them. I really do.
So we couldn't play on during the mornings, which sucked because that was literally the only reason I came to daycare in the first place. But while waiting, kids slowly started to show up one by one. Nobody I knew yet, so I was just chilling by myself. And eventually, these group of kids showed up. Now, at the time, I was a little kid, so like when it came to kids older than me, they were like big kids or whatever to me. But this group of big kids showed up, and I knew them as the DS kids because at my daycare, they low-key had like gangs going on. Not no friend groups who all had their thing. We had the DS kids who mostly comprised of older kids, Marco, Alvin, and David. Now, these dudes were all like 12, which was the age limit at this daycare, so
Okay.
they were all pushing unk status to my young ass self at the time. But the final member of the DS Kids was this girl who was basically like their leader and led their group, and we'll name her Ella. Now, they all usually were located in the area that I was literally sitting in. I was just casually, patiently waiting in their territory. So when I saw Marco and Alvin walk into the room, and they both looked in my direction like, why the hell is that little kid sitting in our spots? And started walking over in my direction with these like mean ass looks on their faces. I was like, shit. And see, usually I would be sitting in my gang's area behind this little area with the GameCube and everything, but we weren't even allowed to be back there until after lunch. And my gang members, who you may know, Turner and Malachi, haven't even showed up to daycare yet. Plus, I hadn't seen these dudes at the time in almost a year because they were like my daycare friends that I only saw at summer camp at daycare because we all went to different schools. So I just stood up and moved next to a bookshelf and sat down there instead. And then when Alvin and Marco
This sounds more like a summer camp than a daycare. I don't know. Yeah, it sounds like more like a summer camp.
got to the table, they pulled out their DSs and got straight to work starting up their game. Now, they would always play Mario Kart DS, and now in the years past, I would be waiting my turn to play Smash on the GameCube. And I would peek over the little divider and watch them play Mario Kart on their DSs. I would be like, only if they knew I had a DS too. Well, mom just wouldn't let me bring it to daycare. And I would sit there dreaming of like playing with the older kids and being cool or whatever. But I was just sitting there until David and Ella eventually showed up. Now the whole squad was there, all playing together while I was still
Oh
alone.
my god, new memory unlocked. I remember one time, right? Only time. This Nintendo right here, it got me in trouble with my mom because I wanted to bring it to. I think I was in fourth grade. I wanted to bring it to fourth grade. Now I didn't bring it, like I didn't take it out because I wasn't playing it during any school hours. So I like technically wasn't doing anything wrong. I had it in my bag, I kept it in my bag. I didn't do anything. And after school, we had always went over to his friend's house for like an hour or two, or maybe even 3 hours. So, but she also had a Nintendo, so we wanted to play our Nintendos together. So I was like, okay, so I'll bring mines to school tomorrow, and you know, come home and we can play. I would come to your house and then we could play it. And right, we, I bring my Nintendo. Everything's cool and peachy. Right, we're playing it in her room. Right, my mom walks in. She's like, Where'd you get that from?" I'm at home, and she got mad at me for bringing it to school. She's like, "You could have lost it." Like, I didn't understand because it was in my bag the whole entire time. Like nobody went into other people's bags or anything. I mean, I didn't, and I would hope fourth graders, the people I was in fourth grade with, didn't have that mentality yet. Usually that starts hitting around fifth, sixth grade. Ooh, what if I just pickpocket somebody? Um,
sitting in the corner waiting for my friends. And eventually I started moving closer and closer towards the DS kids, just inching myself into view because I wanted to watch them play. And eventually other kids had the same idea and dead started stopping what they're doing. Either it was playing with toys or doing something else. They slowly started to move over and rotate towards the DS kids and literally started standing behind them watching. I was like, this is my chance because I had been waiting to watch. I was just scared to be the first one to do it. So I joined the other kids in this crowd watching them play Mario Kart. And then I saw that they were playing
be not trying not to be the first one to do it is so real. It is so real for no reason. Like you gotta wait and see. You gotta scope the scenery out to see if everybody else is like doing it first, and then and it'd be like normal things. Like the other day, I was at a banquet with my family, and I'm sitting there, and there's food in front of us, mind you, right? There's food in front of us, but everybody around us is not eating yet. So like I'm looking around, my mom's looking around, my little brother's looking around, my older brother's looking. We're all looking around except for my dad, and we're looking around for people trying to eat because we're hungry. We came to this banquet hungry, and we're looking around trying to figure out who's eating. We see somebody eating. As soon as we seen that, we start busting down our food because we were hungry. We were hungry. And then my dad called us followers. Yes, we are. When it comes to food, yes, we are. Yes,
balloon
we
battle,
are.
which you don't know what that game mode is on Mario Kart. It's basically where the goal is to get the other players out by popping their four balloons that they're given at the start by hitting them with items. And so they were all playing against each other, some AIs, and it was getting intense. Like kids were rooting for who they wanted to win and everything. And I was in the background like, and after David and Marco got out and it was just Ella and Alvin left, Ella ended up hitting like Alvin with this crazy bomb snipe, and everyone was like, "Yo, Jay!" and was freaking out and shit. And I was just back there watching like, bro, I can do that. And just as I was imagining playing Mario Kart DS with the older kids being cool as hell, Turner showed up and he looked a little different. His long hair was gone. And bro was now taller than me by a good little percentage. I was like, damn. And then when he asked what was happening after he walked up to me, I explained everything to him. And then me and him ended up going to play foosball. And then a little later, Malachi showed up too, looking different. His messy ass freeforms he had were gone. He was rocking like this low cut with like a fresh ass taper. And meanwhile, I was slightly taller. My hair was shorter because I had gotten a haircut recently. But none of that mattered because the gang was reassembled to throw
Not having a glow up is so real.
full school year apart. After catching up with each other and explaining our whole school years and all the fun events that happened during the school year, we had our snack, our lunch, and then our outside time, and then we had free time again, which meant access to the GameCube. So me and the boys rushed inside and hopped on Mario Kart Double Dash. Started up some twos with the teams being me and Malachi versus Turn and this one kid. Now in the gaming center in the other corner, there's this old ass broken Wii, which is saying something because we all were playing on a console that was
I'm sorry, I keep on pausing, but my little brother, we all had a Wii U. Between me and my brothers, we all had a Wii U. Tell me why my brother decided to put pennies in the little the CD slot. Sorry, he decided to put pennies in the CD slot, and then our Wii U stopped working. We still have the Wii U, so I kind of want to get it fixed. Go back on it.
was years older than us and the Wii. But in that other corner, the broken Wii and TV had became used as a spot to just chill. And today, for some reason, the DS gang was chilling there watching us play Mario Kart because it was like their main game or whatever, and they played it on DS all the time. But I noticed them in the corner of my eye a couple times just chilling there watching us. And I also noticed someone in the other corner of my eye. It was Arnold, and he also looked different. Same height, but new haircut, and his aura from before seemed like less negative, I guess. I ended up looking over there while we were changing our carts, and he was laughing and playing with his friends and everything. I was like, what the
I
hell?
kind of
Because
low key
last
want to watch
summer,
the other
Gang
video.
never looked remotely this happy at Daycare, besides when he was throwing food at us. While looking at Arnold, I heard David say, who wants to do a Mario Kart tournament? And hearing the words tournament was all I needed to hear because all of us broke our necks to turn around and look at the DS game. And some of the other kids who were nearby just came over too, and now David had the attention of everyone in the gaming center. And then he explained that he wanted to host a tournament of sorts. Since there was only 4 DSs they had in their hands or whatever, they would have to cut up the larger teams into duos, and each duo would go head to head in a game of balloon battle. And after a long, confusing team creating process, we had our team. Me, Turner, and Malachi, of course. And basically, we came to the conclusion that I was the best out of us three, of course. You know what I'm saying? I'm just really him for real, Mario Kart. So I had a permanent spot on the team while they would switch out every round if we made it that far. And there was like 7 other teams, which included Ella and Marco, who were said to be the actual best, and then David and Alvin, who were also said to be the actual best, and then other teams of kids I didn't know, and then us. So we went into our first round against the team with kids we didn't know, and it was me and Turner for the first game. Didn't last long though because they were big booty. Like it was like playing computers, and I'm pretty sure one of them was like 6 years old. But it was the first of two games, and we
I
ended
feel
up
like that's
winning
definitely me in Mario Kart. Like I do not know how to play.
both of them with ease. We had fun and moved up to round two, which of course was against David and
Like I
Alvin.
know
We
how to
casually
play,
sweep their
but
round
it's just
ones, and
hard.
I
You
was
know, I
low
don't know all
key
the
nervous.
tricks.
Like they were big kids, and I had watched them play enough to know they didn't mess around. So after a tragic game one, I mean, we got packed up bad. Malachi, who was now playing, was down to his last balloon after like 2 minutes, and I had three, while Alvin had three and David had four. And after I got Alvin and David down to two and three, I had two myself, and Malachi was now over my shoulder rooting for me. And in the back of my head, I knew we had to win this game. And if we did, we would make it to finals. And I knew if we somehow got to finals and won the prize of the hearts and minds of the older kids and all throughout the daycare, it would be amazing. And then I got hit with red shell. And that put me
Damn.
down to one balloon. And the second I lost my invincibility frames, David mushroom boosted into me and took my last balloon. And now we had lost game one. Now I know what you're thinking. We're gonna come back and win the next game and make it a game three and barely win. Nah, we got stomped on. But this time it was me and Turner. Afterwards, we watched the DS game go on to verse each other in a fun little finals match that was just played time for them. But even though we got shit on, I had fun.
Well, that was actually fun. I did not know what I was getting into. Like to be honest, when I heard gangs at daycare, not heard, but when I read when I read gangs at daycare, sorry, I was like really like, what are we talking about now? And especially the thumbnail, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right at all. Not it doesn't look wrong, but like I got a completely different picture in my head from what you know this was actually about. But this was fun and unlocked a lot of different memories. Not Mario Kart, but a lot of different Mario games we used to play in my childhood. So, you know, I love Mario. And um not Mario himself. I actually like Luigi. So cuz I was always the number 2 player, you know. Youngest, not youngest, but I'm younger, not youngest though. So you know, it definitely made unlocked a lot of memories about Mario, stuff like that. Um, if you guys, if you guys are enjoying these videos, again, if you guys are enjoying these videos as much as I am, please make sure to hit the like button and make me feel better. Hit the subscribe button and make me feel better too. Um, yeah, see you guys in the next one.